Welcome to the 2021 UEB Graduation, Dotting It with Style, hosted by the UEB Study Group. This is the third annual UEB Study Group graduation. We are celebrating the newest batch of Certified Braille Transcribers. The graduates have completed the Literary Braille Transcribing course. The certificate is from the Library of Congress, but the school that administers the course is the National Federation of the Blind. This is a correspondence course. Students go through the course lessons 1 through 19 on their own, where they study the material and then they transcribe sentences into Braille and send that in to be graded. And then for the final project, they transcribe 35 Braille pages of a book of their choice. Our first graduate is Tanya J Drew. There are two pictures of Tanya. In the first one, Tanya stands against a brick wall wearing a blue and white plaid shirt. And in the second photo, Tanya is posing with her UEB certificate. There is a picture of Tanya posing with her slate and stylus. And there are two quotes by Tanya. I have been passionate about Braille for a long time and have needed something I could do from home as a career. When I first found out that I was losing my eyesight, I wanted a way to continue reading the Bible by myself. So I learned Braille, and I had no idea when I started how much I was going to love it. It continued to grow in me until I finished the course and got my certification. My favorite part was the opportunity to inspire others to do the same thing. I've had several friends start the course since I started working on my final manuscript. It sounds like they are doing very well, and I'm thrilled that they contact me and ask for help. The only thing I love more than Braille is helping others learn it. There was a picture of Tanya seated while reading a Braille book. Quote by Tanya. I started my own company, Essentially Braille. I have done everything from brailing award certificates and greeting cards, political flyers, to full-length books. It is all very fun and exciting. I feel so blessed to be able to work with Braille every day. My husband Ben and I also took over the blind perspective. Not only do we put that magazine out digitally every month, but Essentially Braille has a paid subscription program so that people can get it in hard copy Braille. Picture of the book that Tanya transcribed for her final manuscript, The Secret of the Old Clock by Carolyn Keene. Quote by Tanya. Right now, I stay really busy being a homemaker and being supportive of my husband Ben, watching my twin sons spread their wings and head out into the world, and running the business along with helping to edit the blind perspective. I really have a passion for helping people learn to read and write Braille, and I hope to expand tutoring services as well as to continue to run a transcription business. The next graduate is Petra Hartman. There's a photo of Petra looking at the camera, and she's wearing a green striped shirt and black glasses. There's a picture of the book that Petra transcribed for her final project. She transcribed Naked by David Sedaris. So Petra says that she started the NLS course after volunteering at the Braille production facility connected to Associated Services for the Blind in Philadelphia. She works in digital accessibility. Her future goal is to get certified in Nemeth or UEB Technical Braille, and her favorite part of the NLS course was working with others to understand confusingly worded rules. Our third graduate is Ramya Karthikeyan. The first photo is of Ramya sitting next to her tiger embosser. She's embossing a book. A sign at the bottom says, "My extra loud buddy," in Sim Braille, followed by a grinning smiley emoji. The second photo is of Ramya sitting in front of a blue Perkins Brailler, a laptop, and a monitor doing math transcription. A sign on the wall says, "I love Braille," in Sim Braille, followed by a heart emoji. Photo of Ramya wearing a Lighthouse for the Blind t-shirt with white lettering, using a pee-off machine to make a tactile map. A sign in the background says, "Looking forward to learning new skills," in Sim Braille, followed by a smiling eyes emoji. I have been working with visually impaired students for 7+ years. I fell in love with Braille the first month I started my job. I learned the basics along with the kindergartner I was working with. I finished Hadley's uncontracted, contracted, and Nemeth courses and UEB Online. I joined NFB program in June 2019 as I wanted to be certified. Photo of Ramya sitting in the bow of a boat. The photo says, "Thank you for all your support, guidance, and encouragement." My favorite part of this course was being part of the UEB Study Group. I love Braille, but without this community, I wouldn't have made it to the end. This is a challenging course, and having a place to ask questions, get support, and even attempt answering other questions really helped me grow. Thank you. There's a picture of the book that Ramya transcribed for her final manuscript, Haben, The Deafblind Woman Who Conquered Harvard Law by Haben Girma. I'm working with visually impaired students as a Braille interpreter in the San Francisco East Bay. I'm also doing some transcription for my district. I hope to get NEMET and format certification in the future. My other passion is assistive technology. I hope that I can continue to learn and grow in both Braille and AT and provide help and support to the students I work with. Our next graduate is JoAnna Neely. There's a picture of JoAnna proofreading the final copy of her manuscript. Picture of JoAnna sitting reading a book on her Q Braille. I decided to enroll in this course because I wanted to make Braille accessible to everyone, in our communities, for older individuals who are learning Braille, as well as in our local school district. Photo of JoAnna and her laptop where she's working on her manuscript. Since I am a cook, my favorite part of this course was learning to Braille recipe books. I have used this in my personal collection. Right now, I am presently enrolled in the proofreading course through NLS. There's a picture of the book that JoAnna picked for her manuscript, which is It's More Than the Music by Bill Gaither. I have established a business in which I have named the Braille Barn. My ultimate dream and goal is to transcribe music for visually impaired and blind individuals such as myself. May I present Kim Owens. There is a picture of Kim standing against a brick wall. She's a white middle-aged woman with curly chin-length hair. She's wearing glasses and a blue and gray shirt with diagonal stripes on it. A picture of 18-year-old Kai wearing one of the I Swear apparel t-shirts. The print slogan reads, "I can't count your fingers." The next line is in UEB contracted Braille and reads, "But I've got one for you." He's smiling and giving the hang loose sign with his left hand. Why did you want to take this Braille course? My son lost his sight at the age of 10 and started using Braille to access his schoolwork. We had a mediation with the school because they were not providing appropriate materials. During the mediation, I was feeling so helpless. I didn't understand all the important aspects of Braille and what it meant to have good versus dirty Braille. Right then and there, I made the decision to learn. There's a picture of a paperback book, The Inner Voice of Love, stacked on top of the Braille trial manuscript and the shipping envelope. What was your favorite part of this course? I love the community and support of the UEB Study Group. I've made many friends and honestly do not believe I would have finished the course without the encouragement. A picture of Kim and her son Kai. Both have curly long hair. They are smiling and Kim is holding the large shipping envelope containing her trial manuscript. Currently, I'm volunteering to do a few young adult books for nonprofits. I plan to do this occasionally to keep my skills sharp. I also use my Braille skills for our t-shirt shop, I Swear Apparel. There's a picture of Kim's book that she picked for the final manuscript. It's called The Inner Voice of Love by Henry Nolan. What are your goals for the future? I plan to help my son with his access needs in college and to help parents of blind and visually impaired kids understand the importance of Braille literacy. Our next graduate is Lucia Kuykendall. Lucia is standing in front of her fireplace at home, holding her manuscript and a print copy of the book Old New York by Edith Wharton. Photo of Lucia seated in her classroom in front of a bookcase with various Braille books and supplies. After receiving my certification in special education vision impairment, I decided to enroll in the Library of Congress Braille certification course. I wanted to continue to enjoy learning and teaching Braille. My favorite part of the course was completing the assignments and sending them off to be graded. Then it was fun getting the email from my instructor and seeing how well I did. Sometimes she asked me to review the lesson and redo a portion, and that was okay because I really wanted to master this code. Picture of the book that Lucia picked for her manuscript, Old New York by Edith Wharton. Currently, I'm a teacher of the vision impairment in Powhatan, Virginia. My caseload is comprised of students from pre-kindergarten to high school with various vision impairments. I love my career. My goals for the future includes continuing to enjoy reading and teaching Braille and work on my mathematics skills in Braille. Our next graduate is Erika Sherman. There's a photo of Erika. She has shoulder-length curly brown hair and she has black glasses. Picture of Erika using her Perkins Brailler while sitting outside. Why did you want to take this Braille course? It seemed like an interesting skill to learn. What was your favorite part of this course? Learning the contractions. Picture of the book that Erika transcribed for her final manuscript, Bone Gap by Laura Ruby. So So what are you doing now in the Braille field? Pursuing the format certification. What are your goals for the future? I want to get certified in Nemeth and music and produce textbooks. May I present to you Maureen Villagrana. There are two pictures of Maureen. The first picture, Maureen is shown with long curly blonde hair with a striped shirt, and in the second photo, she's sitting at her computer working on a Braille document. Photo of Maureen smiling and looking at the camera. I wanted to show how to read and write Braille so I would be able to help the VI students with their assignments. My favorite part of the course was when I passed lesson 19. It was a great sense of accomplishment. Cover of the book that Maureen transcribed, The Good Neighbor, The Life and the Work of Fred Rogers by Maxwell King. I'm currently working for a school district where I transcribe elementary work, and my goal is to keep working there making Braille for my students. May I present to you Mary Weir. There's a photo of Mary with her final manuscript, both as a print copy and her Braille version. I work at the Texas School for the Blind and Visually Impaired in different roles. One of the short-term program students was complaining one day that she never got her books and materials on time at her school. At about the same time, a Braille transcriber at TSBVI was starting a support group for people taking the NLS course, so I enrolled. My goals are to volunteer with the school and to take the Braille formats test, also to find some part-time paid work doing Braille. A picture of the book that Mary picked for her final project, Carlotta's Kittens by Phyllis Reynolds Naylor. My favorite part of the course was the letter in lesson 13, and just starting to feel fluent, everything started clicking better. Currently volunteering with TSBVI by transcribing books from Bookshare files for students' summer reading. Congratulations, graduates! Photos of the graduating class of 2020-2021. Tonya J Drew, Petra Hartman, Ramya Karthikeyan, Lucia Kuykendall, JoAnna Neely, Kim Owens, Erika Sherman, Maureen Villagrana, and Mary Wier. Congratulations! Thank you to our volunteers. On the UEB Graduation Committee, we had Ben and Tanya J Drew. Marci Duty, she helped with getting raffle prizes. Thank you to Petra Hartman for making the slideshow. Thank you, Maureen Villagrana, for making the graduation announcement. Thank you so much to Susan Wright for being the co-host for today's ceremony, and thank you, Dan Gergen, for being our guest speaker. Thank you to our donors. We appreciate you donating raffle prizes for the UEB graduation ceremony. Thank you to the American Printing House, Computers for the Blind, Vicki Carson, I Swear Apparel, Harbolt Company, Caroline Karbowski, Mitzi Kit, Mystic Access, Taptillo, Vispero, and Susan Wright. We will see you in May 2022 at the next UEB graduation ceremony. This graduation was hosted by the UEB Study Group. Elizabeth Soundington is the founder, and you can reach her at uebstudygroup@gmail.com. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at UEB Study Group. And we have a website, uebstudygroup.com. Thanks for being here, and congratulations, graduates.